Chase Transport LLC is the trucking business me and my wife started.
We haul jet fuel or fuel for companies.
I mostly do the driving. I take care of my own paperwork as far as receipts for all my fuel. I do a lot of my own maintenance, take care of the truck, as far as PMs, preventative maintenance.
I basically do the paperwork side, so receipts, filing for taxes, invoicing, those type of things.
I find the jobs that I deliver through the company I lease through now, they find most of my work and keep me pretty busy. A lot of owner-operators sign on with leasing companies because it helps with the insurance and it helps you with work, finding work, and keeping you busy. I spend about anywhere from 8 to 10 hours driving a day. Total working is between like 14 to 16 hours a day. It gets very tiring because I come home and then it's like I have like 1 or 2 hours with the kids and the wife, and then I gotta get to bed so I can get up early again, and it can get pretty frustrating after a while, with the wife. She gets frustrated and it can cause a lot of problems.
At the beginning, it was very difficult. Getting on the same page, learning to communicate what we needed, what is expected. There are times where it is frustrating because Chris is on the road all day, I'm here with the kids and other chores during the day, and sometimes my timing and his timing aren't matching up, so we can get frustrated with each other. But doing this since 2017, we kind of have a rhythm now, so it makes it a lot easier.
When I was a little kid, our family used to do a lot of road traveling, and I was always fascinated by the trucks, how they looked. I always enjoyed seeing them, and I always wanted, ever since I was a little boy, I always wanted to drive a truck. I started off driving trucks with the company I was working for, a lumber company, and they offered me a position to learn how to drive and get my permit, and they offered to pay for my license. The permit process, learning how to do it and going through all the steps of inspections and everything that you need to know to pass your test, it can be pretty difficult.
Well, we have had instances where he has to stay out overnight. Usually it's out of his control. He is very good about making sure that he times everything down to the minute so he can make it home every single night. That is his priority, is to come home to me and the kids, which I really appreciate. But there has been times where the truck breaks down, the loading rack isn't working properly, and he has to sit there for 3 or 4 hours, and he runs out of time, or the weather's bad. So there are times that he is not able to come home, but he does his best to come home every night.
I'm considered like local or regional, and we're held to the same standards as over-the-road drivers who are mostly just driving. And guys like me, we're loading, unloading, loading, unloading. And it makes it hard for us because sometimes we have to sit there and wait to load. Sometimes we have to sit there and wait to unload. And we don't get any breaks for that stuff. It's just do this, take your break then, be off the clock by then. I could be in Denver and run out of time and I can't come home. According to their rules and all the time regulations, I have to basically race the clock to be able to come home at the end of the day and be with my family. I would love to see a change to where regional or local drivers that have to be on logs are able to come home at night, or they make it a little bit more flexible for us.
I don't necessarily worry about Chris's driving. I do worry about other people on the road and conditions and things out of his control.
Being out on the road, I see a lot of accidents, and a lot of them are preventable. People taking risks for a couple of minutes that they might be able to save, and I've seen a lot of people die out on the road, and It's because they're not wearing their seatbelts. And it's pretty heartbreaking to see, you know, a family have to suffer because somebody could have been saved, you know, by wearing their seatbelt.
Chris is an excellent father and a provider. As far as the kids go, they have somebody to look up to. He's very hardworking, he's loving, he provides for us. I would say he's definitely an example for anybody that is a father.
I don't think there's a strain between me and the boys because of the job. Jace loves the truck. He loves coming to work with me. I see Jace when he gets in his teen years, like wanting to be more involved.
Jace is definitely interested. He loves the big trucks, but he's at the age where everything sparks his interest for a little while. But he does always come back to, I want to drive a big truck like Daddy. I think as far as advice goes for somebody starting in the business, you really need to love what you're doing. This is not something I think you can do long term if you don't love what you do. So definitely that. And the other thing would be to really research what kind of trucking you want to do, whether it be hazardous materials or cargo or those kinds of things, to find out where the work is, what the regulations are, what the costs are, startup cost, and what your average pay is, and then go from there.
Go after the most you can. Don't settle for nothing, you know. If you got your mind set on hazmat, go after it.